About 3 months ago, I watched a YouTuber that I relatively enjoyed that was named Foco posted a video about an indie game called Ori and the Will of the Wisps. I watched it and was interested in the game. The gameplay and the background for the game looked stunning. But I didn't get the game until the Steam Summer Sale arrived and I had money to buy the game. And after finishing it, I think it is my second favorite game of all time, behind Minecraft. And that's saying something because I have over 55 games and I invested so many hours, totaling over 4,709 hours on Steam. That's understandably a lot since I joined Steam about 3 years ago and actually bought my first game 2 years ago, if my memory is correct. But let's talk about Ori, okay? Ori and the Will of the Wisps is a direct sequel to the game Ori and the Blind Forest. I didn't play that one, but I probably should. And leaves off with Ori and his family, named Naru, and his ally Gumo, adopting a new addition to the family. An owl named Ku, the daughter of the former antagonist for the first game, Kuro. The problem for the beginning cutscene is that Ku has a birth defect of not being able to fly because it was burned off during the fire at the end of the game. And because of that, she is missing a few feathers. Ori ends up finding a feather for Ku and they set out on an adventure, but end up crashing into the land of Nibel due to a thunderstorm. Ori lands in the Inkwater Marsh, and Ku ends up in the Silent Woods, the hunting grounds of Shriek, the antagonist for the game, and your beginning goal for the game is to find Ku, but eventually evolves into saving the land of Nibel from a corruption due to not having any light or hope, turning everything into stone. So your goal is to restore it and bring back hope to the land of Nibel. And I don't want to spoil, so let's move on to the next section. The gameplay in this game is the most fluent and amazing gameplay I have ever felt on my keyboard. By the beginning of the game, all you can do is jump, but by the end, you can grapple, stick to walls, bash, triple jump, and much more. There are many types of roadblocks, but that is because you haven't unlocked mobility abilities. And overall, this gameplay is such a charm and is just fun to move around with. The map for the game is very large, with tons of secrets and new areas in each area to explore the more you progress in the game. There are about 12 areas in the entire game, some bigger and some smaller. But let's talk about the graphics. The graphics for the game are breathtaking and are truly beautiful. It is like a moving painting. There is so much atmosphere in each area that makes you feel like you are exploring an actual world and not just different areas of a consistent minimap. My favorite area is the Luma Pools, a pink, green, and blue colored water wonderland. But there are many great areas such as Bars Reach, Windswept Wastes, and Inkwater Marsh. The animation for the game is amazing as well. Now time to talk about the music. The music for the game is done by Gareth Coker. He's most known for both of his music on both of the Ori games, but is also known for his work on the Minecraft Bedrock Mythology packs and on the International 10 music pack for Dota 2. There are about 51 tracks for the game, and it is amazing if I do say so myself. It is one of the most atmospherically beautiful soundtracks I have ever heard. It shares the message of Ori and the Will of the Wisps. Atmospheric music is done by many other great games, and it rivals the likes of Christopher Larkin's Hollow Knight and C418's Minecraft soundtrack. I just love listening to it, and is regarded by the gaming community as a legendary soundtrack, and I really recommend listening to it. The villagers of the game are the Moki, little cat/mouse creatures that their old homeland, the Silent Woods, have been ravaged by the curse of no light and Shriek. They relocated to the Wellspring Glades with the help of a builder called Agrom. A Gorlek, ancient builders of the windswept wastes who were drove mad underground. There are other characters such as Lupo, a map maker for Ori and has a couple side quests, and his mentor Tok, an old traveling bird that wishes to see the whole world. Ophir, a monkey who teaches Ori skills, and many other characters for the game, and you actually are invested in these characters, or at least for me. I get a good feeling whenever I improve the monkey's listening situation. Enemies and bosses. Another thing I love about this game is its enemies and bosses. There are usually enemies for every area, and the boss fights are amazing. They usually begin with escape sequences, and they are just great. The music, along with the collapsing level, makes you feel like you're doing every little thing right, and I love that feeling. My favorite boss is the boss in the Moldwood Depths, Mora. It begins with a regular sequence, and after you fight her again, it begins in the first phase when you defeat Mora, and then you hop into a chase sequence, and then after you fight her again. And after you defeat her, it turns out she was really corrupted and was actually a relatively good spider. Another of my favorites was the final boss of the game, Shriek, and I'm not going to go into it because the ending for the fight for Shriek, of the cutscene for Shriek, is actually pretty heartbreaking. Now on to the next section. The ability wheel is one of the best things this game has to offer. The game has many weapons and other things. My favorite ability is the hammer, a slow but a very powerful weapon. There are many other abilities like the bow and sword. I really love the ability wheel. It's really fluent. Now more things. The cutscenes in this game are heartbreaking and amazing. There are a couple small cutscenes. My favorite cutscene is the Shriek backstory. It's just really depressing. Now to the final overview. So a quick summary of this video. Ori and the Will of the Wisps is a genuine masterpiece and you should really go buy it. Okay, bye!